Tropical Storm Alberto has formed in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico with wind speeds of 40 miles an hour and a pressure of 995 millibars, moving to the west at 9 miles an hour. Being named this morning, Alberto will make a landfall in Mexico during the overnight hours. And there's a lot to unpack here, so let's just dive right in here. First off, we're looking at the SPC here. They put out a slight risk for severe weather. That is led by a 5% chance for tornadoes. That includes Corpus Christi and Brownsville. Looking at their summary, they say a few tornadoes are possible across South and Southeast Texas this afternoon into tonight. And again, here's their full overview. If we scroll down here, I'm going to zoom in on that if you want to read that. But again, the main reason is that low-level shear is increasing, as well as some other things that they're highlighting here. And they say the likely cellular storm mode will also potentially, be slightly more favorable for a tornado risk, considering the environment scenario described above. As such, have increased tornado probabilities to 5% near lower and middle coasts of Texas. Sorry. But that is despite an initially poor lapse rate and weakly unstable environment. So, again, they've gone ahead and added that 5% for tornadoes. They don't have a tornado watch out yet. They did issue a mesoscale discussion, if I can pull that up, because they deleted it off their website. But they're saying that the tornado potential is increasing this afternoon into tonight. They put their percentage of a watch at 40%, so I don't know if we're going to get a watch or not. But yeah, let's go ahead and go to the National Hurricane Center now, and as you can see, we actually have more areas that we're gonna go ahead and go into here soon. I'm gonna go ahead and because of how that's merged like that, I'm gonna go ahead and just reload the website. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, that's where Alberto is right now. We scroll down here, we're gonna go and check out their cone first. Most of those tropical force winds are starting to move inland now. Tropical storm warnings are in effect. It's expected. Let's see what they're expecting it to peak at, because again, that new advisory came out recently. They're still expecting it to be 45 miles an hour. And near landfall here. So the storm should be around here at 1 o'clock a.m. Thursday. Should make landfall slightly after that, and then it should be gone in the afternoon. However, it's important to keep in mind that that according to their key messages, users are reminded not to focus on the exact forecast track of the system. Alberto is very large, with rainfall, coastal flooding, and wind impacts occurring far from the center along the coast of Texas and northeastern Mexico. So again, we are expecting impacts across a large scale here of land. In fact, it's extending from Houston all the way to east central Mexico and further south. So again, a lot of areas are being impacted by it. And the main impact that we're going to see is flash flooding and mudslides. And this is why. We have a localized amount of potentially 20 to 30 inches of rainfall here. Keep in mind, this is more in mountainous terrain. So, but that's even worse, because that will trigger more mudslides in the area. In southern Texas, we're expecting 6 to 8 inches of rainfall at max, with most areas getting 4 to 6 inches. In Mexico, where we're going to have most of our rainfall, we're expecting rainfall totals on average 8 to 12 inches. And as you get further more into the mountainous terrain, it's going to increase from 12 to 16, and 16 to 20, and then 20 to 30. So life-threatening flash flooding is going to be a concern. In fact, they say that here in their key messages. In mudslides are likely in and near areas of higher terrain across the Mexican states of these areas here. And I'll go ahead and provide this in Spanish if you need to pause the video and read that. But yeah, flash flooding is going to be our main concern. This is the storm surge map that we have available. It's basically, actually, no, it's the exact same as when we checked this out in the last video. 1 to 3 feet of storm surge expected in southwestern Louisiana, 2 to 4 feet of storm surge expected in Galveston Bay, and 1 to 3 feet of storm surge expected in southern Texas. So, again, just stay away from the coastlines pretty much. This won't be our main threat, obviously. Again, it's flash flooding along with mudslides. Let's go to the Weather Prediction Center here, or the WPC that I'll be referring to it as. But yeah, we do have a moderate risk and effect for southern Texas. That does include Corpus Christi, Brownsville, those areas I described before. And you might notice if we went to the regular site, they have 2 areas for moderates. This is for an unrelated, I'm actually going to switch over here to this one instead. This is for an unrelated event that's going on up there. But apart from that, we do have a slight risk that will still be in effect tomorrow, and then a marginal in that area too. But yeah, in the last video, they also said they wanted to upgrade to a high risk. I don't think they're gonna do that anymore because they've taken any mention of that out of their discussion. However, that just shows you how much rainfall that we're gonna have, to the point where the WPC was considering issuing a high risk for flash flooding. Now, let's look at the models here. In fact, I want to look at intensity first. They're not expecting this system to be to become any more stronger. It might get to 45 miles an hour. Some people are saying it could get to 50, but it's not going to get any higher than that. I personally think it's going to make a run for 45 miles an hour, nearly 50, and then make landfall and die out. And then if we look at the tracks, again, I mean, it's pretty much obvious it's going to go through Mexico at this point. And after the mountains, it's going to be pretty unreliable because it's going to be completely killed off. So anything after that is pretty irrelevant. Okay, so something that we're going to do now is actually take a look at the WTS side of things, what we think could happen here. Again, this is unofficial, but we're just going to steer away and just show you what we think. So we're basically in line with the National Hurricane Center. We currently, the team has it at 45 miles an hour, a projected peak of 50 miles an hour. As it goes through Mexico here, and then just quickly die out. They also put out their discussion here. This is from forecaster Alex, for the 4:00 p.m. advisory. They say that Tropical Storm Alberto remains fairly the same this afternoon, has gained more convection, has deepened a little further. In fact, if we go back, I want to show you again, like last night and yesterday, the storm didn't look too good, but as we go further, you can see on the south, you can see all that convection blow up and wrap around the storm. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty much looked the same as it did at last advisory. And here's the main thing. Their rainfall forecast, Tropical Storm Alberto is expected to produce rainfall totals of 5 to 10 inches across northeastern Mexico into southern Texas, but maximum totals of 13 to 15 inches possible. So again, rainfall, flash flooding, that will be the main issues that we have. Okay, so before we go into what you need to do, let's go ahead and review some of these disturbances here. This one, we're not going to go too deep into, but we'll probably do it another time. This could threaten the U.S. coastline here, and based on what I'm being told, it's actually starting to have more of a shot, at developing into a tropical cyclone. We will have to see how that develops. But we'll keep you updated on that as that progresses. But here's the main thing. Another area of interest is here in the Gulf of Mexico, in the same region as Alberto. It has a 30% chance of forming within the next 7 days. And what they say here, another broad area of low pressure is forecast to develop over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico this weekend. Environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for gradual development of the system through early next week, while it moves slowly west-northwestward or northwestward. So yeah, again, that's another area we're going to have. That's another area we're gonna have to look at. Excuse me once again. Because it's gonna impact some of the same areas as Alberto is impacting right now. So again, I just want to point that out. Okay, so this is what you need to do. Main thing, listen to officials, listen to broadcast media, listen to the National Hurricane Center, WPC, SPC, all of that if you're in the United States. And saying for Mexico, again, the national, no, not the National Hurricane Center, the SPC, WPC, all of that, they don't have authority to issue forecasts there. So again, if you're in Mexico, northeastern Mexico, stay tuned to local media outlets and any officials there, because this is going to be, again, the main threats are flash flooding and mudslides. Turn around, don't drown if you encountered flooded roadways. Have a way to get warned for severe weather, mudslides, flash flooding, all of that. Again, be on the lookout for tornadoes, especially if you're in southern Texas and kind of parts of very northeastern Mexico. And make sure you have your electronics charged just in case if the power does go out for you. For the winds too, make sure you carry any loose objects inside just in case, because the winds, although they won't be strong, they're still enough to do some damage. But yeah, I think we covered basically everything that we need to cover. So this will wrap up today's video. Thank you for watching. This has been Watching the Skies, watching for everything. Stay safe out there.